What's going on, guys? Awesome back. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to get better on a controller in Rainbow Six Siege, and that can be whether you are on console using a controller, obviously, or even if you are on a controller on PC, which I know some people do. I'm pretty sure Royal Penguin does it. But anyway, I'm going to be going over the biggest 5 things that you need to be good at on controller, and I'm going to be talking through them, giving you tips on how to improve and everything like that in this video. So without further ado, before we get into this video, I want you to go down in the description. I stream on Twitch if you ever are interested in, checking me over on Twitch. I stream almost every single night over there, and my link is in the description. And also, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, it would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so the first thing I'm going to talk about before we get into any of the gameplay things are going to be settings. I'm going to break settings and Sens into two separate little things I'm going to talk about. So first we're going to talk about settings. Now, a lot of these probably will not be super controller based, but having good settings and being good at the game and getting an advantage with your settings is a big thing. So I'm just going to walk through this to help you guys out. So basically the first thing we're going to look at is stun VFX. Now I would turn this, if you like the white being flashed in real life, when you're get flashed, it's like a huge blank white screen. Keep it on white. If you don't like that, put it on dark. I like it on dark. A lot of people prefer dark. Next up, diffuser pickup. This is a huge one for controller because if you really think about it, if you aren't playing claw, when you have to pick up the diffuser manually, and a lot of people have it on square, you actually have to take your right thumb off of your aim. So that's not what you want to do, because in certain situations it's gonna get you killed. So put this thing on both, because it'll make it so you can pick it up manually or you can pick it up automatically. So I would definitely just have it on auto, so you can just run over it and always keep your hand on the aim, so you don't have to take your your right thumb off the aim. So that'll help you. Throw on visible throw trajectory. I'm not going to talk about HUD too much. HUD is basically preference, whatever you like. I have it on custom. I probably have a couple things turned off. Just play with that a little bit, because some people like it really minimalistic, some people like it with a lot of stuff on their screen. But it's all personal preference. Moving over to audio, dynamic range is really the only thing that I'm going to talk about in the audio section. Basically what it does is, let's say the volume for low sounds is down here, and the volume for gunshots and stuff and loud noises is up here. Basically what it does is, night mode puts it on kind of an even playing field, so it boosts the really quiet noises so you can actually hear them, and it turns down those loud gunshot noises and stuff like that. So it puts it on a very even playing field, as you can see on the side, making all sounds even at low levels. That's what you want. Night mode is definitely the way to go, and then the rest of this is kind of preference. I think they added this bottom part recently. I don't know. I don't look at the settings too much. But moving on to display, obviously you always want prioritize performance on, because that's going to make you play at the highest FPS, and you want to play at the highest FPS. So on the side it says run the game at 120 frames per second. That's what you want. You don't want to run this at 60 frames per second. 120 is going to give you a huge advantage. VSync I turn off, and then field of view, entirely up to you. I would not put this thing lower than 80 though. I play on 84. A lot of people play on 84. I know a lot of people play on 90. I heard 84 was the sweet spot, because I used to play on 90, and when I switched it was very weird at first, but I found out that I really liked it. We're gonna skip controls for a second, and then we're gonna talk about accessibility. Optic color, completely up to you. And then the last thing I really want to touch on is screen shake intensity. Have this off. You don't want this on. You don't want when you're a defender in sight and there's a fuse above you, and you're in a gunfight and you're trying to fight him, but your screen's violently shaking. You don't want that. Just turn it off. And stuff like that. And then the rest, honestly, for settings is very much preference. But yeah, that is it for settings. We're going to move on to sensitivity next. All right, so next up, we're going to go into sensitivity, the last one before we actually get into the gameplay stuff, because sensitivity is very important. Because if you really think about it, right, when you're on PC, you aim with your whole arm. So sensitivity is going to be a little bit more wide range, where as controller, you're aiming with just this, man. You just got your little thumb here. So this is a big thing. So talking about sensitivity, first thing I want to say, controller rotation. I had this on updated until probably a month ago, and my friend was like, yo, classic is the best one, and I'm like, what? And I was playing on updated that whole time. Basically, classic is just, it's gonna be your normal sense the whole time. updated, it starts with your sense slower and then eases it into the actual sense, which is so weird. But yeah, make sure that's on classic. Moving into the actual sensitivity, I play on 2080. The big thing that I want to say with sensitivity is going to be, do not just copy other people's sensitivities. Don't be like, yo, I'm gonna just copy Stompin, Richie's, Mingo's sense, like, because they are good at the game, so like I'm gonna use it and be as good as them. Like, yeah, and like that's not how it goes, man. Sensitivity is literally preference. If you are a slow sense player, play on a slow sense. Don't just up it because you want to like play on a high sense like Stompin or whoever, or your friend, like whoever it may be, right? You want to just ride this out with however your preference, however it feels. Again, if you are changing your sensitivity too, do not change this thing like drastically. I'd say change it like 5 to 10 at a time, and don't change it constantly, because sensitivity, like how good you are with the sensitivity, is basically measured on your comfort level, and your comfort level comes with like how much you play on the sensitivity. So do not just drastically be changing it and just always change it. Just find a sense that you are comfortable on, learn it, and stick with it is like my tip for you. Dead zone, that's kind of on you how your controller is. I can't really give you a thing. But then the last thing that I want to talk about specifically with sensitivity is going to be the controller ADS sensitivity. You should never have this on standard. You always want this on advanced. So basically with advanced, the main ones you want to change are going to be this one times and this ACOG. I play 30-30. A lot of people play like higher, ACOG, and then like one times they play a lot lower. I just do this because it works best for me, and that's how I like playing. But yeah, again, this is preference. This is just like your horizontal vertical. This is when you are ADS in your gun on your scope. This is what your sensitivity is going to be. So this is like more important than your, horizontal vertical sense. So if you do not like how you're playing on the sensitivity, go into training grounds, or go in the shooting range and just try them out. You know what I mean? Again, don't change this too much, because this is literally the sensitivity for your gun skills and like what sensitivity you're gonna be using in your gunfight. So make sure you spend the time, finding your preference, not someone else's. Obviously you can use other people as like a blueprint or kind of to see and test, but like don't just copy. Like if you like the sensitivity, you can use it, but like don't just, use it as like a guide, not as like a, okay, I need to use this just because the top player does. But yeah, that's that. And then I have the advanced off. You can turn this on. I don't really mess with it. There's a lot of stuff here that you can look at, but mainly just look at, just, spend the time to find your vertical, horizontal, and your controller ADS sensitivity, and you will be good on the road to being better at controller. All right, so next up, we are going to talk about sensitivity. Finally getting into some of the gameplay stuff. I know. Settings and stuff is boring, but it is very important. So basically, we are now in the training grounds, and I'm going to be talking about recoil control, because I know some people struggle with it on controller. And when people like will tell you, and you'll like ask them, how do you control recoil? How do you really control recoil that good, like the top players? And they will tell you just pull down. That is basically all you need to do. But I will kind of explain it and map it out, like how you can really do it. But it's literally just pulling down. That's all it is. So basically, if you want to control recoil on a gun every single time perfect, this is all you need to do. So you take the gun. This can be done in the shooting range. This can be done in any game mode. This can be done in the like spawn. You know what I mean? Like once you spawn in the round, if you're on tag defense, whatever, all you want to do is take your gun, shoot it, and then look at where it, like the recoil pattern is going. So like I'm on the R4C right now, and the recoil pattern is going like slightly to the right. So on the cam it's a little different. So it's like on the right, right? So all you need to do is then go the opposite way of that with your controller. So if it is going up right, I want to go down this way to, recoil, like control the recoil. So basically how that looks is like this. And obviously it's a little bit harder, and it will be a little bit more difficult to like do it if you're going back and forth. But basically that's all you need to do, is just pull the opposite way that the gun is going, and you will be able to control the recoil every time. I cannot tell you how many times, like I cannot remember the gun, like I know a lot of people will say like I can't just remember the gun's recoil pattern. Like there's so many guns in the game, like I can't just do that. Like, you know what I mean? And like that's what I'm saying. You can literally do this every single game you load into. You go into the lot, you spawn in, right, and you just like shoot in the air, and you're like, oh, okay, that's the recoil pattern. You can run in the building, and then there, you know how to control the recoil perfect every single time. Obviously, for some guns, this is gonna be a little bit more difficult, right? Because like the R4C, I feel like I have pretty good recoil control, so like the R4C is a little easier for me. Twitch gun, that's gonna be hard. SMG 12. You know what? It's literally, you can do it for any gun. Like I'm gonna go on Dokkaebi. We're gonna clear this. I don't have perfect recoil control with this, like a lot of people, but you see it, you're going, okay, it's going basically the opposite of the R4C. So then, you know, there you go. You recoil control like that, and stuff like that. So that's basically all you need to do to control recoil in this game. Just pull down. Again, if you need to do that thing where you shoot up in the sky every single round, just do that. Find the recoil pattern, basically. All you need to do, find the recoil pattern, then you can pull opposite of the recoil pattern, and then you have good, you have perfect recoil control, and then all that's left for you to really master your gun skills is going to be aim, and we're going to talk about that next. All right, so next up, I'm going to talk about aim. Now, aim, we are back in the shooting range, as you can see. Aim is a very, very big thing in this game, right? And I think it's probably the biggest thing for gunfights is you want to have good aim. Good game sense is good recoil control is good, but aim is what it's going to ultimately come down to. The biggest things that I can tell you about aim and how to get better aim and improve your aim is firstly going to be warming up. Now I know warming up immediately isn't going to be like an insane impact, but over time it's going to be really good. And especially when you're warming up before you even get on, like your aim's going to be better than if you just didn't warm up. So it is actually improving and helping you in some regard, right? So the biggest things for warming up is all you need to do is set 5 to 10 minutes before you actually get into a ranked game or before you actually like play to warming up. And this can be in any of the AI game modes. So like you can come into the shooting range, do this thing where you have like all these customizations you can do with like big ball targets, small ball targets, dummy targets. You can customize the length, the speed that they go at, which is a very, very cool one. You can come over here. You can do something as simple as like just strafing back and forth, you know, improving your strafing and stuff like that, and just your aim like that. Or you can go into a game mode like target drill, which you just run through the map and you actually just kill AI people that are just standing there, and you can just do it with any gun, whatever you need to do with AI. And those are like quick ones that don't require you actually like loading into a game or like doing anything like that, right? All I'm going to say is those are great ones, and I'm not going to downplay any of those, but the best way that you can actually improve your aim, warming up, or even just doing it to just improve your aim and not even warming up, is going to be free-for-all. Free-for-all is going to be your best friend. I used to do all the AI stuff, and it was good. Like, it helped me. I got a lot better. But, like, as soon as I switched to playing, like, a free-for-all before I got on, or just, like, playing free-for-alls for fun sometimes, it literally, like, it made my aim so much better. Because when you think about it, right, if you really break it down, when you're doing these AI things, or you're playing just ranked games trying to improve your aim, right? Because over time, that's obviously going to improve your aim. But in a normal Rainbow Six Siege game, if you're going 6 rounds, how many gunfights are you getting into? 8, 9? You know what I mean? 8, 9 gunfights in 45 minutes, 40 minutes, 30 minutes, however long it may be. You know what I mean? But when you load into a free-for-all and you are playing against real people getting into real gunfights that you would in like a normal like game, right? You are going to get in those 8.5 minutes, you're going to get like 40 gunfights. And especially if you're using a gun that you struggle with and you're trying to get better at, it is going to help you so much to get in there and get that practice with the gun. It's so much more efficient to play free-for-alls because you're fighting real people, getting in real engagements that you would in a normal ranked game. On real maps, whereas like the shooting range, you're not gonna be able to getting that and stuff like that, and you're gonna be able to use guns of your choice, switch it anytime you want, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So the big thing I would say is free for alls are your best friend with getting aim. Again, just practicing your aim is gonna be a big thing, even if you're just in here. Like I made, you know, AI maybe like the AI game modes like this maybe seem like worse, but they're not. Just doing a little bit of that every single day, or committing some time, is going to help you improve your aim. Immediate aim changes. Make sure you're aiming at the head. That's a big thing. Crosshair placement's a big thing with your aim. Obviously, I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, Austin, my aim's so bad I can't even hit the head. Like I'm just going to aim at the body or the PP." Don't do that, bro. Just aim at the head, because if you aim at the head and even if you like are struggling, right? and you're aiming for the head, you are eventually just going to get better at doing that. Like, stop being scared to do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? This game, you are naturally, like, I can tell you all these things about warming up. I can say crosshair placement. But the biggest thing in this game is just going to be playing it. It's putting time into aiming, putting time into getting gunfights, whether that's in the shooting range, whether that's in training grounds, whether that's in free-for-all, whether that's in actual ranked games that you're playing, custom games, whatever. Put the time in, play on your sensitivity. Your aim will come. It's something that is not just going to come to you right away. It's going to take time. So yeah, that is my piece on aim. All right, so next up, I want to talk about one game mechanic, and I picked this one because I think it is very, very important, especially on console. It's going to be quick peeking. Quick peeking, just in Rainbow Six Siege in general, is probably one of the biggest game mechanics that you need to know, and that is going to help you the most. So basically, quick peeking is just like this. It's basically where you're going to quick peek out, like you're going to peek out and quickly come back in so you don't die. You know what I mean? You're basically just doing this so you can get information. Now, this is a basic, just strafe back and forth, which can be used as a quick peek. Obviously, there's better ones that you kind of are going to do. I think this controller has so much stick drift. But basically, it's just quick peeking so you can get information quick without having to full swing and take a gunfight where you don't know where the other person is or you don't have any information of. So basically, like I was showing you, this is just like a simple strafe back and forth. This can be used as a quick peek. You can use things like where you crouch. That's another one. You can use ones where you're just like aimed in and you're strafing, right? Those are kind of just the basic ones, but the big one that I use and you can see a lot of people actually use is going to be the Psycho Peek. Now the Psycho Peek looks like this. You might not know the name, but this is what it looks like, where you're quickly peeking out with your gun, but you're in like striking position, so like you're aimed in. So like if you quick peek, you know, you can just do anything you want off of the quick peek, where you can like re-peek or you can like crouch peek, like whatever it may be. So to do this, I'm going to explain it to you on controller. I'll try to show you the buttons, but basically this is how it looks. If you are peeking, are you trying to quick peek this, you know, right side of this doorway or this left side, you want to be on the opposite side. So like right side for the left side doorway, or, you know, left side for the right side doorway. So basically all you are going to do is you are going to be aimed in, and you're going to peek out. So like I want to quick peek to like right here, right where that bullet hole is. So I'm going to quick peek out. And then once I get to the spot where I want to quick peek, I'm going to lean the opposite way. So it'll look like this. Slow. I'm doing this slow. So then once you aim like this, then you want to quickly lean back to the other side. So basically you're coming from this. I'm on the right side doorway. So you're coming from the left side peek to the right side peek to back to the left. And as you do, like as you saw me do, once I'm on this opposite side, and you re-lean back to the opposite side, so the side you started on, you're gonna strafe right. So it'll look like this. So basically what you're doing is, again, I'll say it slowly. I'll try to show it on the controller. I don't know if that'll work, but you're taking your right thumb, you're moving out with your left thumb. With your right thumb, you're hitting R3 to put your lean on the right side. Then you're putting your lean back to, you're hitting L3 this time to put your lean back to where it was initially. And then you're also going to move your left thumb back as you hit, after you hit L3 to lean back to the side you were initially on, you're going to move it to move over just a little bit. So it looks like this. So fast, it looks like this, because then, you know what I mean, it's like fast, you can do it whatever. But it's kind of hard to explain where I'm like showing it, but I'll slowly show it. I'll explain it one more time if you guys didn't get it, but I'll do it kind of fast, right? So again, you're going to lean to the, I'll try it with the other side. You're going to lean to, you know, the side you want to peek on, then you're going to come out, then you're going to quickly lean back to the other side. Oh, sorry. You're going to lean to the other side, and then you're going to lean back to the side you're initially on while you move over. So it looks like this. Okay, I'm like, I didn't. So again, out, opposite side, back to this side, move. Out, back to this side, back to the other side, move. That's all it is. Again, like, you're not going to be perfect doing this the first time. Just put your mind to it. It basically is just going to be like muscle memory, like once you get to it. So you can try it in game, whatever. I just tried in like just go into shooting range and just do it for like 5 minutes, and it'll be good for you guys. But yeah, quick peeking is a pretty big part of this game. And especially on controller, just being able to do that is going to put you miles ahead of anybody else, and it is a valid thing that you guys are going to need if you want to get to those higher ranks. But yeah, that is how to quick peek on controller. All right, so that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys, you controller guys out there, can take some from this video and use it to get better on controller, because I want all my console boys to eat out here. But yeah, I'm sorry if any of the stuff was confusing. I hope you just like rewatch it and it eventually makes sense. I think I got a lot of the stuff straightforward. Maybe the quick peek thing was a little bit confusing, but again, like I have a whole video on that that I made a little bit ago that you can look up, and I explain it like it's a longer video. It's like it's basically it's just a longer version of what I just said to you, and I include more ways to quick peek and stuff like that over there. So yeah, make sure you check that out if you're struggling with that. But without further ado, that's gonna be all for today's video. Again, hit the link in my description, the Twitch link, if you want to see me on Twitch. I stream almost every single night over there. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button if you enjoyed this video and took something from it. I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.